Welcome to Hell, the podcast for sinners, where you send us your tales of iniquity and we offer our infernal judgment.
So you died. Get over it. We have. You think you're the first one to be crushed between a giant lizard and a massive gorilla.
Excuse yourself from that menage a trois, plummet off the skyscraper and carry straight on down to the fiery gates for a good old-fashioned gossip with me, Daniel Fox, Olympic scrapbooker, comedian and Hell's resident receptionist.
And me, Dane Buckley, comedian, amuse-bouche, and lapsed angel.
Darling!
We're using a few French faces now. Phases even.
French faces?
Tatty's obviously paid off.
I'm doing my French face.
But of course.
Bit of course.
And of course, people have loved our French pronunciation.
Yeah, so many people piling on the Instagram clip that we put out of that episode going, wow, these two guys are doing so... We literally said grandeur as sort of guessing what grinder might be, and I think I said saucisson. The only two words you need to know to navigate
be fair,
France.
compared to someone from Watford giving it like, voulez-vous?
Voulez-vous une saucisson?
Well, shall I introduce a drink, or would you like to go straight to what we've been up to?
No, tell us about it. What? Can we...
Does that? I forgot the order.
When have we ever done it that way?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You stupid fucking bitch. Come here, slap yourself against my hand. Is that from Will and Grace? Doesn't Karen
think it
go,
is, yes.
I can't be bothered to slap yourself
honey,
against
get
my
on
hand.
back. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, Dane is on drink duty. We always have a little tipple down here in Hell. We like to slap down a couple, and then we have a drink.
So, have a little taste.
Okay. Oh,
Butch.
I don't like it.
No.
Not for me.
No.
It's cola.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a Jack Daniels and Coke?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's whiskey and Coke.
And you're calling this what?
I'm calling this one the water of death.
I don't think we can camp up such a straight man. My brother drinks this.
Listen,
In fact, I don't even know if he's... I think even he's grown out of it. This is like 18-year-old club boy in the club.
yeah, that's why I
Straight
got
boy
it.
in the club.
Do you know what? Like many of the men I've partaken in the ancient ritual dance of homosexuality with, they drink Jack Daniels and Coke. So I've always been like, oh, look at you. Look at me looking at you, drinking that drink.
Drinking a JD&C.
And whiskey really is from the Irish word ishkabacha, meaning the water of life. So I called it the water of death.
That's where whiskey comes from as a word.
Yeah.
Ishkabacha.
Ishkabacha, yeah.
Ishkabacha.
Water, ishka, bacha of life.
Oh, I guess some people do say whiskey, don't they?
Yeah, but also it just changed like over time. But yeah,
Well, it's ghastly.
the water of death. Do you know what I wanted to? The other week we tried rum and Coke, and I thought let me keep on this theme of men I've loved.
It is what it is. I can't
It's
wait
never
for you to
happening
go.
again.
I'm very looking forward to you going back to your more extravagant cocktails rather than walking us through the all bar ones of the South Coast.
We tried.
A flavour tour.
Anyway, darling, what have you been up to?
Oh my gosh. Well, what have I been up to? I've been on tour. I'm still on tour. Released some new dates on that tour.
Never-ending tour.
The never-ending tour. Released some new dates.
No, you.
Manchester, Bristol, London. Have they sold out? Yes, 2 of them have. But we're adding a couple more Manchester and Bristol dates.
Other comedians just must hate you, right? Like they must just see like your post, be like, "Oh, we've had to add 4 more."
Had to add yet another beastly little dates. We are going. I think actually by the time this episode goes out, there will be another Manchester and another Bristol date. Which will be the last ones of this tour. I'm not going back there again.
Said that for so long. It's the last one. The next one. We've added 9 on the planet Jupiter.
And there are still tickets for the big London one that I'm doing in Clapham Grand, which will be the Clapham Grand, a name I used to dance.
I imagine close friends would be getting an invite to the Royal Box. I've yet to receive.
If you want to go, please come.
Are you any good? Are you?
No. Beginner.
Oh no, I'd love to.
Yeah, well, I'll throw a little ticket, but
I'll just walk around with a T-shirt, be like, "It's me from Welcome to Hell." His semi-ethnic friend.
Printing out one of those the QR codes so that it like directly follows you from Instagram.
We all know the comedians.
Well, we know some comedians that do that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I did a tour show in Cambridge over the weekend where I
heard about this online.
When you're doing a tour, just when you're doing a show, someone from the venue comes to get you. They bring you to the backstage bit, and they go right, and then they're like, ready to announce yourself, and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And they're like, okay, cool. And then they sort of call through to the person on the tech desk and they say, cool, ready to go.
Who's normally a little hottie on tech.
Yeah, it varies. Yeah, can
Yeah,
be sometimes.
yeah.
And
Thank you.
With the exception of
I don't know if anyone I don't know if the listener even heard that one, but Yanis just was thanked us for that. So you go through, and then she like radioed the woman, was like, ready to go. So we're going to bring down the music, bring down the lights, audience ready for you to announce yourself. I was like, great. And as she was saying that, I looked at the curtain and I thought, I can't see how to get on stage. Like these curtains are so treacherous. Like often you just cannot tell.
so treacherous. Curtains can be, can't they?
You've been trapped in a curtain. Haven't you?
Yeah.
So they have like seams on them, but not every seam is openable.
No.
So you just have to take a wild guess. And normally they have a bit of like luminescent tape.
Yeah.
This one had nothing. So I started like very gently poking at it, trying to find which bit of this fucking curtain opened backstage. Meanwhile, I can hear the music fading down, ready for me to announce myself. The audience has gone dead quiet because they're like, oh, here he comes. I had to turn to the woman and say, I can't find how to get on this stage. I can't see the way. And she went, oh, no. Oh God, we had this happen earlier today. She steps forward and rather than like gently poking around like I was, she starts like punching around, like flailing around in this curtain, trying to figure out where it is. She can't figure out. The audience start nervously laughing because they think I'm caught like a moth in a lampshade.
That's an elaborate part of your de-winging.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to go on stage in a chrysalis.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Just pupate out and begin.
That weird kind of face they do as well.
Yeah. Anyway, basically the whole thing just ended in me flapping around in a curtain for like 15 seconds, losing all glamour and all sort of what little star power I was bringing, and then eventually finding a seam, announcing myself on stage, and sort of stumbling onto the stage, and then just doing a show to a slightly baffled audience for the whole hour, where they're just looking at me going.
But we had some messages from fans because I was on the email that day saying that they absolutely loved it. What an entrance!
Yeah, well, that must have been one of the few kind souls that loved that, because I was looking into the eyes of Noreen and Derek from Cambridge, who were looking at me going, did you really just get trapped in that?
Because I was doing a gig recently for a comedian and I was chatting in the green room and I heard the name Dane Buckley, ran panicking into the curtain, done a little spin round, got out of it, but continued to spin on stage. So I just leant into it like a whirling dervish, just like, hi! But of course I was in my head for the first 4 minutes, being like, oh my God.
Yeah, you just sit there thinking, I wanted to appear in a grand puff of smoke and do like a real... Here I am, here's the show, and instead they just saw you
Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And for me, they just saw a black curtain flapping around for like 15 seconds, which is a very long time.
I've always said that about you. A black curtain flapping around.
Just a piece of fabric wafting on stage. So that's what I've been up to.
That's nice.
Do you want to talk about the fact of what happened very recently?
Oh, sorry, I was waiting to be asked about me. What was...
Oh, this is about you.
What happened?
You aged a year, didn't you? It was your birthday.
Oh, yeah, it was my birthday. 2012.
2012.
2012.
You had a nice time?
I had a lovely time. I had just come back from tour support, so I was knackered, so I wanted a chill day. So I went for a carvery with a good mate, and we went to the Amy Winehouse movie, which was gorgeous.
Yeah, I've still not seen it, but I really want to.
Oh, critics are slating it, but the people are loving it.
Are they slating it?
And I am for the people, generally, yeah.
Interesting. I really want to see that tennis one with Zendaya, Challengers. It looks a bit sexy.
Okay, yeah, you did lose me at the sport.
Yeah, but it's just tennis players being sexy. It's the guy from God's Own Country.
It sounds amazing. I've always wanted to see it. And of course, I can't go into details, but you gave me this custom card that made me absolutely launch into hysterics. It was fucking hilarious.
I gave Dane a card with a hideous selfie of the two of us that we took. Well, we both just look absolutely vile, but
and you're taking me out to see a little show,
and we're going out to see Hadestown, which is, I would say, up in my top 3 favourite musicals.
Because I've been asking Dan about this for ages.
Yeah,
Shall we go and see? And it keeps deflecting, and I was like, oh, is it not hearing what I'm saying?
For about 2 months, Dane's been like, we must find a date that we can go. And I'm like, yeah, but
the weather's nice today. I guess he doesn't love musicals, even though he writes them. So yeah, that was the sneakiness you were doing. But yeah, that was lovely, lovely messages, lovely gifts.
Good.
And
what else have you been up to?
Well, I've been on I don't want to get sued, so we'll call it Little Airlines. I'm sure you can imagine which airlines I was on.
Yeah.
I was on a flight to Ireland.
Wait, the orange one?
No.
The one named after a man?
Yes.
Yes.
Yellow and blue. Yeah. And the lovely Irish gentleman come next to me and basically bullied me into sitting next to the girl. I was on the aisle. And he's like, go on, in there with her selfies together. I was like, no, we're not. Oh, we're not together. Go on, don't worry about it. So
What?
I was like, oh, no, but we're not. Move along there. And so I had to move along.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Into the middle bit?
Yeah, he was trying to be nice. He thought we were together because we were like arriving at the seat at the same time. I don't really know what happened, but he was hot and I did it. Cut to me, kind of have to be like, hi.
Wait,
We're together now.
and did someone sit next to you? Or were there two? Was it an
Yeah.
empty seat? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. He the man. sat
Oh,
next to
him.
me.
Oh,
Yeah.
he just wanted the aisle, Dane. He wasn't trying to be
No,
nice.
well,
You
yeah.
don't strike me as someone that would let that happen.
I wouldn't normally, but he was so gorgeous.
Go on now.
And I kind of, there was a minute where I was like, are we
Am I with this?
Susan?
Oh my god. Margaret? Dane, come on, move up. Dane, move up.
I've got my wife's name.
No, Dane, come on, move up. If anyone doesn't know, Dane secretly has he puts on this whole camp thing, but he's
Love you,
actually
Margaret.
secretly married to
Get my dinner ready.
a Yorkshire cook called Margaret. She works in a prison.
And at one point, when he sat down, he went, "Now, you are together now." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I just literally, is this
guess
what
we
happened in
are.
Ireland back in the day? But he caught me and was obsessed with watching me watch myself on our podcast. You know, we do a little, we do an edit and we
Yeah.
watch it through. And I was watching on my gorgeous little iPad.
Your new miniature iPad.
Exactly. Susan. No, I've not named her yet. I normally name my devices after a Celtic god, and I don't know which yet. Anyway, he was absolutely clocking that it was me, and I got really kind of aware of it. I was just like, this looks so cocky.
Yeah, it does.
So cocky.
Because I often listen.
So then I just put on one of my pornos. Honestly, it was amusing.
I often listen because we have to listen back and then we
Yeah.
give notes and we trim it down a bit and whatever. I listen to it on the tube quite a lot, and again, same thing. You just end up with people all around you, and I think
Do you listen or watch?
I watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they we're quite distinct looking, especially together. They must know it's us.
Yeah. I mean,
And I have a little nose. That's why I've got privacy screen.
I love my favorite novel is whatever the person next to me.
Tell them about that delicious thing you did when someone was reading your notes on your phone.
Oh, well, which specific one? I do this a lot of when
What are
people
you
are
fucking reading?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Mind your own
people-
business.
I've done this more than once, but when people are reading on my phone, going onto the notes and typing "mind your own fucking business" or "can I help you?" or "are you enjoying this? What I'm writing?" Whatever it is. Yeah, I love to.
Because gays are devious. The amount of people I've seen do a screenshot of what the person opposite is watching based on the reflection on the train. You should be like, oh my God, that one's on Grindr. I can see it. I've got my way in. Also, I feel like I should say, I started this as a joke and it's really becoming a habit, is my pronunciation of certain words.
Yes.
So I am a big fan, growing up, of Tori Amos,
Yes.
redheaded piano songstress. Give us a little ditty of Cornflake Girl.
Bet your life it is. You bet your life.
Gorgeous. Goddess to the gays.
Mm.
Now, she has an interesting relationship with pronunciation.
Yeah.
Never was a Cornflake Girl, thought it was a good solution.
Yeah.
And I think it might be about vowels or singing, or just because she's a witchy New Orleans queen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's too far across the spiritual plane for normal
To be
vowels.
confined.
Yeah.
And what initially started as a joke, in my family would say maybe instead of maybe. Salut, dunno, maybe. So that started as a joke. It's become so much. I'm doing it.
It's constant.
My friends around me have started to do it. My neighbors, my mother now does it. Salut.
We will be voice noting. There was a voice note the other day where I literally had to go back to Dane and be like, I have just had to rewind to listen to that again because you did it like 9 times in a row. And a whole sentence was just putting the vowels in different places. I didn't know what you said.
I think she was the first person in the song to say my
My.
instead of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, a lot of the musical theatre, the famous one is in Wicked, all of the different alphabets that instead of going, it's May, they go,
Yeah.
it's May.
Because I think she does it for witchy poo reasons and I do it for dramatic reasons. But technically, different vowels,
Yeah.
in your singing voice, you can have a different range on.
Yeah.
And usually wide vowels, like O and U, you can hit a little higher than slim
It's
ones
to
like
do with how
I&E.
it closes up the vocal fold or something.
Right. Sneaky ways.
Yeah.
But I just like the attention.
Yeah.
Do the shoulder.
Maybe.
Maybe. Do I always want a piano to the side and the red head that I flow back and say,
Welcome to
Welcome to
Hull.
Hull with Daniel Fuchs and Dune Buchlu. On that note, Thunboon.
Sinbun. Something Dane and I are doing every episode
Yes.
is taking the 7 deadly sins, the old, boring, crusty old sins, and we're throwing those crusty old croissants out and we're bringing in a new lovely coterie of patisserie of sins for the modern day.
Exactly.
We're writing up a list of taboos for the modern day, things that we hate. And I'll tell you what I fucking hate. I hate everyone online. No, I hate people who on videos, and it's primarily a TikTok thing, but they do also do it on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it would be like a video of like a woman who owns a python, and she'd be like, "My name's Patricia, and this is my python, and the python is like wearing a hat," and the whole video is about how like the python is wearing a hat, and then all the comments will be, "Why is no one commenting on the hat?" It's like the whole video is about a python in a hat, like, and then there's all these like fucking teenagers being like, "Why is nobody?" And there's like a million other comments being like, "Why is nobody talking about the fact she's got a python?" Everyone's talking about the fact she's got a python. Everyone's talking about the fact she's wearing a hat. Python and a hat, a name I used to dance under.
Is this a consultation with Dr. Obvious? They all do that. They get
Yeah.
in and they chime in saying that. It's like, hun, have you understood the narrative of the clip? The clip is doing the talk. You're just joining in because you're adding your 2 cents.
And also just I think what it is I just want everyone to have to read the top 10 comments before they come in and weigh in with their comment. Because also what they do is go in and read, and someone will make a little joke.
Yeah.
Being like, I was going to try and make a pun on pythons and stuff, but someone will make like a little joke.
Nagini.
And then, being like, haha, it's Nagini. Nagini's had a glow up.
Yeah.
And then the 3 comments down will be like someone else being like, Nagini's had a glow up. And you're like, we can see that you've stolen that.
Or the worst, not me thinking that's Nagini, not me thinking a Horcrux survived. When they say not me, because they're trying to make it about them then.
Yeah.
It's so unattractive. It's
This
so
isn't
ugly.
this isn't your blog.
This isn't your Edinburgh show.
No, this is not your Edinburgh Fringe show.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not your cabaret.
Yeah.
You are not Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
Co-starring alongside Cher, giving one of the greatest performances of the modern era.
Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely.
What a
songs
film.
in it.
So,
Burlesque, do a little number.
Strange Alan Cumming thing of him eating like a banana with his foot or something horrid.
Cabaret's definitely influenced that though as well, the musical, I think, right?
Yes.
But we're gays, we get deviated. But talking about the comments, how I think they should be done ideally, I think is do you know Welcome to Hell, the life-changing top 10 podcast?
I've heard of it.
Well, one of the clips, I don't like to mention the one about the dentist that got over 1 million views. If you look at the comments there, which I imagine I have done for several days, if you look at the comments, there's really good kind of like fair contribution, people chiming in, people atting their friend who is a dentist or a hygienist, being like, is this true? Someone else saying that absolutely not. Someone else saying it happened to me 4 times. And that's kind of everyone's joining in, throwing ingredients in the pot to cook a really good stew.
To cook a beautiful comment stew.
Exactly. Not what they aren't doing is being like,
why is no one commenting on the dentist? It's a video about a dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And anyway, so all of that to say, I just want to snap the neck of about 50% of the people on TikTok.
Yeah. I agree. Let her come into the soon boon.
I just mashed my
Let me see that again.
But side note, wouldn't it be a great ability to be able to snap your own neck? Just if you really need, if you were just in a situation you could.
The dog chiropractor videos?
Oh, dog chiropractor.
Yeah, where people are snapping the dog's necks. Yeah. Don't do it.
We've discussed this recently. I don't know if we've discussed it on air.
Oh, should we do an additional soon boon?
It's a triple sin burn. Chiropractic.
Yeah.
Chiropractic.
Get ready for this, everyone. Sit down, because he's about to rock your world.
Is a pseudoscience?
Yeah.
We're going to get so many angry messages about this from people going, no, it's changed my life.
Not me being angry about pseudoscience.
Why is no one commenting on the chiropractic? It is... I just assumed that it is like a completely researched, highly sort of like professional thing. And it is. Like, obviously everyone that does it has trained in it and like has a degree in being a chiropractor. But when you Google it, it's like pseudoscience. There is no proof that this does anything.
Yeah.
What, sorry? I thought it
Yeah.
was like an NHS thing. It's not.
So did I.
It's literally just like these big men and women just like snapping the necks
Yeah.
and crunching the spines of little old ladies.
I've had it done.
And you.
And I've had it done, obviously. And it did feel life-changing. But then last year, do you remember there was that case where the person's neck was
Their
snapped?
neck was necked.
Tori.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Multiple people a year.
And you told me about this, and I looked up. They're in the same category. Don't come for me. This is Auntie Google's words, as like the people that do the cups and the needles.
Yeah, people like
Chinese
acupuncture.
Yeah.
Which, and again, there will absolutely be people out there who say acupuncture has changed my life. And
Absolutely.
I am so willing to believe that that's the case because I want magic to exist.
Listen, you're speaking to someone that's been in a shamanic circle, even with sage smudge. But
I'm fully willing to climb into camp, chi, energy, chakras, all of that stuff.
But when shit hits the fan, I want to run to an NHS sanctioned situation. And I didn't realise that these people can do like a thing online and get a wee certificate and print it, and then they can.
Yeah, it's like there is no researched evidence, I believe. Well, you Google it, it says pseudoscience.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is like pseudoscience. It's just
Yeah.
classed as just not a thing.
Do you know what that is? Scary.
That's scary.
It's scary.
Skura.
Oh,
Gosh, I feel cleansed of
I
the
feel
3
cleansed.
sin bins.
let me just release some of my. My sin bin. Today, on the theme of Tori Amos, good vocally, I'm eating my beautiful imported cinnamon chewing gum.
Oh.
She's good for the voice. She's good for drama.
While drinking a Jack Daniels and Coke.
How dare you? That's a water of death, and I've camped it up. Well, I'd like to recommend it comes with a cinnamon chewing gum. But anyway, they're my chewing gum of choice. If people need to send them in, do. But on that note, it got me thinking. Big Red. And Dane! I cannot stand. Like, I'm eating chewing gum now,
Yes.
and I'm not hard.
Yes.
People that have chewing gum and then think
Oh,
they're
you mean
hard
as in like, oh, I'm well hard.
Well, it's for you to interpret.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people suddenly think they're they'll be like
a
this.
gangster. Yeah.
And fine if you look like a bulldog, but I know like Bridget that works in the library that suddenly takes one, and suddenly she's strutting round like home cooking, and she's like,
Oh, it's so annoying. And they or when they do the thing where they do a couple of chews mouth closed, then they open the mouth to roll it
Yeah.
around a bit, and then they come back to chew it. I'm like, what are you? Who are you?
That gum is not giving you. I mean, mine is, but yours is not giving you powers.
No, they either think they're like cowboys from the 40s, or in prison.
I had a friend who, well, listen, I don't know this week what he calls himself is, but he sleeps with men, although he doesn't call himself queer. Anyway, when it chews gum, suddenly it gets a bit, and it gets a swagger. And goes,
no.
Yeah, and drops the word bruv a few times. And I want to be like, darling, you have been a sin bin for the community. I know for a fact. What are you doing? And when the gum comes out, do you stop? It really gets on my tits. I hate when people think they're hard on gum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Thank you.
Horrible.
I feel lighter.
Dane, do you know what the time is now?
Is it the time for
time
us
for
to realise you
Where
can't carry off hairspray?
How dare you? What do you mean?
I don't know if she's serving you.
How fucking rude. What about her's not serving me?
What time is the bingo?
Too much volume. What are
On
we...
one side, yeah.
Too much volume on one side.
Did you spray from one side across?
No, I wear my hair to the side.
Yeah, but how did you spray in? Did you lift up?
No. What do you mean? It's like too puffy forwards.
Yeah.
I noticed that on the train. I was like, I don't like how that's doing that.
And everyone says that about you. You're too puffy forwards.
No, do you know what it was? It's because it was swept back more. And as it's come down, it's maintained that volume outwards. Stop the podcast. We can't carry on.
I find a little spray to the roots for the hairspray and then bring through with the finger so that the weight...
To the top of the root?
Yeah.
So you're doing it on top?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted the hair up.
Oh, yeah. That's not, that's not who she is now.
When it's fallen down now. I don't think this is up, but it was sort of like... Well, I can't even see what I'm doing now.
Do you remember Johnny Bravo? You're like his camp little twin cousin.
Well, how... Is it an abomination now?
No, it's gorgeous. A cynic look on its face.
I can't carry on.
Ow! It just kicked me with its
Can
claw.
you imagine if my legs were long enough?
Your tail is.
Right, Dane, do you know what the time is?
Letter time. Let me take a sip of my very butch cocktail.
This is the worst thing I've ever drunk.
It's disgusting. Okay.
Hey, this is the part of the episode where we turn the evil eye on you, our listener. We have asked you to write in. We've asked you to send your confessions to judgment@hellpod.com. Find us on socials at The Hellpod, or go to www.hellpod.com, where you can find an anonymous form to send in your nasty little secret confessions. We've asked you to send them in, and let we, the infernal aunties, judge you. So are you the demon? Let us find out. I have letter 1. I shall be Mother.
You've done the hairspray like you are.
I don't know if this is even being included, but just a second ago we had, I'm going to say, a 10-minute argument where Dane pointed out that my hair is doing horrible things because I've experimented with hairspray today and it's gone puffy. Okay? And that's called bullying in the workplace. It's called elder abuse.
I can't talk about hair. My hair, this is imported from Shangri-La.
Right. Letter 1. Hello, darlings. I absolutely adore the show. Thank you. And have binged all the episodes in the last week on my commute to work. Right. I was wondering, would I be the demon if I didn't invite my parents to my wedding, since they both voted no to marriage equality in 2017? That's a long time to hold a grudge, and they have been in all other ways very wonderful, involved and supporting parents, and also kind to my partner. I'm very unlikely to actually follow through on it, since I do not relish conflict. However, the temptation to at least make a jab about it is hard to ignore. Would it be so horrible to say your vote was your RSVP and let them sweat for a moment? Who's to say? Judgment welcome, kisso kisso.
I like that this one, the action hasn't been done yet. They're asking.
Yeah.
We can shape this person's future.
Yeah, we can, we're like a angel and devil on the shoulder. Oh, and a camp tiger's in the room with us as well. How interesting. What do you think?
Listen, I think they sound like the type of parents that are very much about, I don't mind, it's just about the principle of a union. You know, when we were going through this in the UK, there were a lot of people saying that, I don't mind, my son is gay. But in the Bible, it's about a man. There was
suddenly
a lot of
people
that
cared a lot
shit.
about the Bible.
So I think, listen, your parents' actions, other than that, they've been supportive. Do they need a little bit of revenge? Yes. Is it fun to be a sassy bitch who holds on to stuff and punishes people? Yes. It's one of my 5 a day. But I think your wedding should be, you shouldn't have that in your head. It should be about you. Don't do it at the wedding just because you don't want to sully it. You don't want to sully it. But
Say that one more time.
sully.
You don't want to sully it.
You don't want to sully it.
I think.
So I don't believe I officially finished.
No, but the listeners are clamouring to hear my opinion. No, carry on.
You don't want to sully it. But the thing is, you are their child. You can take revenge when it counts. When they're older, taxidermy, the Honeymead Community Home,
Taxidermy. Stuffed.
Blending their roast dinners into a milkshake with a rainbow straw and be like, this is a gay straw. Do you remember when you didn't vote? Open up. It's cold. Do you know what I mean? There are loads of opportunities to take revenge and to be like a dramatic person to get them back in the future. Do it then, not on your day.
I think do it on your day. But then undo it. But just for the joy of seeing the fear in their eyes, send them their invite, but then just put a big cross through it and say, no to marriage equality or something on it, so that when they ring you being like, what does this mean? You'd be like, serves you fucking right, bitch. And then the next day be like, only kidding. But just get a little jab in, make them realise. This is what I would like.
Yeah, I mean, that jab is needed. We agree on that.
Little jab.
Little jab.
A name you used to do. I would go in and I would maybe on their invitation, maybe on some sort of or a phone call to them, be like, well, obviously you won't be invited because you don't believe in gay marriage. Yeah. Obviously. And then be like, oh, and be like, but and maybe, or send out the invites to everyone else except for them. And then when they're like, oh, your aunt says she's got her invite, we've not had her, I'd be like, oh, I didn't.
But this person is conflict averse. Like, can you see them? This is you and I doing it because we would have a blimp in the sky saying, do you vote now? We would go for it.
But I think you can do this in good spirits of just being like, don't send them their invite, hold it back for an invitation, hold it back for a couple of weeks. When they call you up being like, we didn't get it, but, oh, I didn't think you'd want to come because you voted no. I thought you didn't believe in it. And they're like, oh, no, we do. And then you'd be like, I'm kidding, you can come.
Yeah, and maybe sign them up to like a newsletter about euthanasia or something, like just reminding them that you're going to have power of attorney one day. Love you, bye.
Yeah. Send them a Dignitas.
So I think what we're agreeing is some clap back is needed, darling. Give them something back.
Yeah.
But I wonder what Maybe something low-key like that. I was playing the long, bitter game.
But it sounds like they're nice now. It sounds like they've learned the error of their ways.
it
And I
does.
just think one final slap on the wrist is what's needed. So it's either that you don't send them an invitation for a while, or you send them a really sassy, catty invitation that looks like a no at the ballot box, or you just put a tarantula in their goodie bag. Do you do goodie bags at straight weddings?
I don't know. Do they? Do they?
I don't know. Gay weddings, obviously, you get a bag of glitter at the end.
And poppers, yeah, you get poppers and you couple up. Yeah. But the thing is, maybe they could be like, I know you want to come to the celebration to celebrate me and my partner, but did you want to come to the church service because I know how you felt about the vote?
Yes.
Maybe that's kind of feels like an English country way of getting someone back.
Yeah.
Will you feel comfortable coming? Because I know because you did, didn't you?
It's very sort of Pride and Prejudice way of doing it.
Because at the time, do you remember where the Church of England were doing that thing where they were standing up and making announcements about not supporting gay marriage? And you had all these videos of people walking out. Well, I walked out because my grandson is gay. Yeah. And they were quite iconic.
I love that.
As the man in the dress spoke at the front, holding the candle, talking about making bread low carb.
Yeah. Very camp.
Okay, well, there's somewhat of a plan. If it goes wrong, though, and backfires, we aren't legally...
We're not legally bound by anything we've said here. And if this
Don't
gives
listen to us.
if this gives your parents a minor stroke, that's not on us.
That's not on us. That's on them.
That is on them.
And dairy. Okay.
They don't sound like they're from the hell community anyway, so I don't think...
They sound boring.
It's not our purview, I'm afraid.
Bye.
Dane, letter 2.
Letter 2 I have. I'm going to take a sip of my disgusting drink to lubricate the vocals. Still disgusting now the Coca-Cola is flat. Dear Dane, we're getting the order right here. Dan and Clement. That's the gay ghost.
Several things wrong there, wasn't there?
Wasn't there?
Weren't there?
Wasn't there? Clement. He was included at least.
Daniel? I should be towards the front of the...
I don't mean to assume
billing.
Clement's pronouns, but I think it's a he. Is Clement a he?
I think he's a he.
I think he's a he.
Who knows? I mean, from his time, obviously he's a Victorian at latest ghost. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, nice that he's included, though.
Oh, listen, and if Clement wants to come out as non-binary, the non-binary ghost, then we'd obviously be incredibly supportive of that.
Is he haunting this letter? He's hijacked this. Clement, stop! I suspected my boyfriend was cheating on me. We had been together since we were in college, and we had what I thought was a good relationship and a pretty good sex life. But he'd often come home late and was cagey when I asked him where he'd been. I decided to follow my intuition. Me and my best friend staked out his place of work and followed him one evening. Exactly what we would do.
Snooping.
He drove to his friend's house. A friend I understood he wasn't close to. Soon, some other friends arrived. Hello. We waited for girls to arrive, and when they didn't, I started to suspect the worst. One of our lot. We waited for girls to arrive, and when they didn't, I started to suspect the worst. After dark, we snuck to the window of the basement, and to our shock, horror, discovered that these grown men were playing Dungeons and Dragons. And was so invested.
Oh.
The voice I heard my boyfriend do as he destroyed a warlock with a spell made my lady garden shrivel up. I honestly would have preferred if he'd been having an affair. I broke up with him the following week, just saying we want different things. Am I the demon?
Oh my God. So much to go over. Firstly, love the transition from they're having a gay orgy to no, playing Dungeons and Dragons. How sweet. Listen. Oh, also, they were together. She said they were together. Well, they said, I don't know who they were. They said they were together since college.
Yeah.
Well, who knows how old they are now, but that sounds like several years that have been thrown away because of Dungeons and Dragons.
I got the vibe, though. If this is American, college is their uni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how old are they?
Yeah.
At least years. How funny.
Yeah. First of all, I love that because you and I would love that kind of thing. Oh my God, stake out quick.
We'd
be getting a Deliveroo delivered to the car.
We'd be getting like a little...
We'd have like a little Robin on the CD player.
Some pad thai.
Just discreetly getting our delivery.
I love that they then went sneaking up to look into the... Oh yeah, it must be American because they said basement window. Sneaking up to like peer down. It's very Desperate Housewives.
And also like, how do you have hot kinky sex afterwards? I don't know how Dungeons and Dragons works. We'll have to ask.
I think
we'll have to ask our producer. But what kind of language do they use?
Hey,
is it rolling dice?
I have a commissioner confession for you. I've played.
But how old were you?
27.
Oh.
I feel like it's something that would be right up your street, getting to be Lady Galadriel or like some sort of elven.
It was, but then I discovered Nick.
Oh, well.
I stopped those things at like 20.
But can you not imagine how the two would meet?
Maybe, but the kind of people that generally, straight men playing Dungeons & Dragons, I think you could smell that basement.
I will say I'm not a regular Dungeons and Dragons player, but I have.
Dabbled.
I don't know if I can come out as.
Go on.
Do I play the occasional video game? Yes.
I think that's different.
Well, it was based on Dungeons and Dragons, the one I last played. But I will say you could have BDSM sex with a Minotaur.
Yeah.
And that is my sort of
And
game.
that is queer energy.
I just want to be a little princess sorceress running around having sex.
But I can tell you,
men with horns.
I don't think this is how these men were playing it.
No, I
destroying
feel like
a warlock with magic. Like, do you know what I mean?
I think that's a greasy room.
Because if we were doing it, it would have been we would have had like a rhyming poem that we did before destroying the warlock. We would have made it glam. From the west wind winds to the. We would have had.
Oh, we should make.
You would have been next to me doing the backing thing.
We should make a Welcome to Hell live Dungeons and Dragons special or something where it's just us being like, and I'm Princess Peach, and I don't know if she can be in Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I can't imagine anything more. I think I would rather find out that my partner was having a gay sex party.
What would have been the best, really, was a gay Dungeons and Dragons. That could have been fun. That could have been fun.
That if you snuck down and you saw them all naked wearing little wizard hats.
Yeah. Been like fire down below.
Okay, release the dragon.
We accept her.
Oh my god, Dane, can you hear that?
I think so. Is that your stomach?
No, it's the end of the episode. That's what it is. And that is all from us. If you liked this, please do be sure to check back for new episodes every single Thursday. And if you want to earn yourself a special VIP place in hell, my God, why not subscribe to our Patreon? You will get extended guest episodes and an extra bonus episode every month. Plus, prices start at a mere 75 pence per week. Dane, what is a pence?
They're the things you throw at your boyfriend to get his attention, darling.
Oh, that's right, those little things. I only move for notes.
And card.
Yes, I take Amex.
But what we'd love more than anything...
Sake!
Shut up!
Go on.
But what we'd love more than anything is if you'd share this with your friends. Do flick your forked tongues and tell everyone about our podcast. Get them to leave a review, a 5-star review, a 6-star review. Spread the word, spread the love, spread the evil.
And as always, if you want to submit any confessions or grievances for our infernal judgment, you can write to us at judgment@hellpod.com. Go to www.hellpod.com for the anonymous form, or find us on socials at the Hellpod. Thank you as always to Spotify for allowing us to use their studios, to the lovely creatures at Auburn Jam who made our music, and to our producer, Yanis. See you next week.
Bye. Warlock dragons.
I throw a d20, which means that my dragon has sex with your dragon.